Salut, it's me.
And me.
You are watching the second part of the Windmill. It's not really the second part, it's actually just a separate part. So this is the inside, the interior. And the video right before this one should be the outside, the exterior. So if you haven't watched that yet, I recommend you do that. But obviously you don't have to. It's a windmill. So I hope that explains this really weird and uncomfortable shape that this building has. But yeah, it's a fun video. So you could definitely watch the other one first.
If you want to learn about windmills.
Yeah,
and
also
the history
a
of windmills.
lot of fun facts about windmills. But this build contains custom content, the same one as the outside, so only 3 creators, which are Harry, Felixandra, and Peacemaker. You will find a complete CC list with links and any additional information you might need in my Patreon post, free Patreon post, of course, which you will find in the video description, the very first thing you'll see there. So let's get into this.
Yes.
Do we have any more fun facts today?
We now know how expensive it is to buy a windmill.
Yes, can you believe it? We
restore it.
actually did some research.
Yes.
The smallest possible amount of research you could do for something, we did. And because we could talk about the bill a little bit first, I guess. So
Sure.
I imagined a small family was living in this windmill. So a couple and their child. No more specifications than that. And they kind of like the rustic style, I'd say. It's kind of rustic.
Sure.
But it's quite colorful for what it is. It's not bright colors, but it is colors.
It is colors. Yes.
What a nice sentence. So yeah, I guess you'll get the gist from watching the kitchen. But yeah, okay, give me some fun facts. I also put some cat stuff in this build because I really felt like a windmill and a cat just go so well together. I feel like
I
if
would
there's...
know. I'm allergic
Yeah, me too.
to both.
Windmills, wow. But I just felt like there's a windmill, there has to be a cat. I don't know why. Is that ridiculous? Does it feel right to you too?
I will say this. I think any kind of large building needs a cat to kind of roam around and no one knows
right?
whose it is, and it's just kind of mystical. But yeah, no, I understand.
These huge New York City office buildings just have a cat roaming around.
Yeah, they should.
Okay, lay some facts.
Okay, listen, you're saying this like I got many facts. So I was looking at pricings of windmills. Obviously, you can barely ever just buy the windmill. You'll have to buy the entire piece of land, which...
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. But usually a windmill comes on a large piece of land, which obviously drives the price up. So, so prices kind of started at like £900,000 UK,
Pounds?
I think. Yeah, it's not the weight. It's pounds UK. So basically at like $1 million or euros or whatever your currency is.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, but they start there. I don't even know if they come renovated.
What do you think this kind of this specific type of windmill with this kind of look and this garden and
furnished
all
or
that stuff?
unfurnished?
Unfurnished. I mean, they would have bought this unfurnished and probably a little run down and stuff. But
okay, but was it renovated at some point? Because you'd have
you decide. You tell me, what do you think this little Sim family would have paid for this?
I think if you were to buy this renovated, not furnished, but like intact, you would probably spend, I'd say, a little more than $1 million though. It'd be like 1.3 million maybe.
All right. That seems like an expert opinion to me. So.
I don't know. Because there's a lot going on. It's quite high. You've
I mean,
got
your Sims will get this for 250,000 simoleons.
That's a
I
steal.
think I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I mean,
You've got the pond next to it.
don't miss out, guys.
And it's located in a nice neighborhood, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's the countryside of Windenburg.
Yeah, then you'd spend even more, I guess. Because the nice ones I was looking at online were like 3.5 billion, which is...
Billion?
Billion?
my
Are you
God.
kidding me? Which is still an insane amount of money to spend on a building. And then, you'd have to go and redo the floors. And the roofing especially, I think, is a big part of what you're going to spend money on renovating this.
Oh yeah, probably. And like windows and stuff.
And the insulation, because the insulation really sucks.
Yeah. So in the last video we were talking about what we thought windmills were used for today, most probably. So
Yes.
did you find out anything more about that?
So from
Some actual information instead of our guessing.
from what I can tell, they basically, as I said, some of them are still in use, but most of them will actually be bought by someone and renovated, as long as the government allows it, because a lot of them you have to preserve due to history reasons.
Good old history reasons.
Yes, I don't know what they do with them because they'll just end up kind of run down, or they'll make a museum out of it. But I also.
I mean, you can only have so many windmill museums.
See, that's what I'm thinking, especially in
There's a
Netherlands,
limit
where
to
there's
that.
like, there's basically a windmill every 10 meters. You're not gonna need a museum every 10 meters.
Yeah.
But also like event management and there's like wedding venues and restaurants or whatever you can conjure basically exists in a windmill. And it's obviously going to be more expensive because it's in a windmill.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the other thing as well. Like, if you were to buy a windmill, would you still want the blades to be intact? Or would you want to be able to have a button in your windmill, just a big red button that's like spin the blades and it just starts spinning?
It starts lifting.
No, but how cool would that be?
It would be really cool, but I imagine they're incredibly expensive to maintain. Someone
Yeah,
has to get
see
up
that?
there, and they probably do have to turn to keep intact, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some.
Yeah, what I think, okay, first of all, if you're spending 3 million on a windmill, you'll have the money to invest in the blades.
Probably.
But you can make it like electric, where you just really like press a button and it will spin.
Oh my god.
And then it's like the other way around.
Who pays for that,
It's
though?
making wind instead of using it.
And then you put a wind turbine
Yeah,
next
on the other
to it.
side. Perpetuum mobile.
And there we have it. Solved all of humanity's crisis.
Yeah, so that's that. I think I can totally see having like a birthday at a windmill. That would be
A birthday.
okay. Maybe
Is
not
that
a
what I'm
birthday.
getting you for birthdays?
Okay, no.
Is that what you want?
Like a Christmas party at a windmill. That'd be kind of cool.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I guess they rent them out, right?
Yeah, I think I do. You can rent windmills. I saw many posts about renting windmills. I don't know.
Did they pay you? Is
No.
this like? is this an advertisement?
I'm also unsure about, like, because there are these kind of windmills in the US. They're just kind of like metal windmills. I think they're used for electricity. You'll basically have them on like old farms and whatnot. I don't know if they were talking about renting those kind of windmills, because I don't know why I would want to rent a windmill or a wind turbine that makes electricity. Because if I need electricity, I'm going to need it for a while, and then kind of makes sense to buy one. So I was thinking it's probably like a proper windmill. At some point, it just makes sense to buy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like the
all right.
hazmat suit.
This has become a weird like tutorial,
Yeah.
economics tutorial. Yeah, to say a little bit about this actual interior, we are onto the bedroom already, the master bedroom. I'm using a lot of Harry's Country Part 1 and 2 because Part 3 is not out yet, but I'm really excited for that one too. So of that country collection to furnish all of this, and it's quite moody, especially the master bedroom and bathroom are a little dark and moody and very fun and cozy, if you ask me.
I keep thinking, like, looking at this, I can tell how you're like shifting the doors after you kind of misplace something, and you're like, no, I want the door to be here. Do you know how much
wait,
effort?
is this a burn?
No,
Am I...
no, I'm just asking, do you know how much effort it would be to move like a door within a wall? Because you'd have to like redo the whole wall
Yes.
and then recut the hole for the door.
Yes, but it probably also wouldn't have... Although I've seen some old buildings, sometimes it's insane what they do. There'll be like 3 windows in a room in at different heights.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like...
yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I have the power to do that, so I'm absolutely gonna do it.
Did you know that back in the day, millers was actually a really sucky job?
That was a change of topic.
Yes.
Please tell me about it. Yes, I did know.
I don't have much to say about it. It's just basically that whoever owned the land, they kind of had the right to the mill. So whoever was working the mill, if I understand correctly, they would also be collecting the money from like the farmers and or food or whatever from
Part
the
of the
farmers.
feudal system, I think.
Exactly, and so both sides would kind of distrust the miller at all points, and they would always be the evil
They're
one.
the middleman.
They're the middleman.
The sucky middleman.
Yeah, and they don't even get much for it. So being a miller back then really sucked. So, but you get to live in a mill. I don't know if I
Was
live in
there
a mill.
something about the devil being involved? I don't want to scare anyone off, but wasn't there something about that?
I don't know.
I hear there's some kind of explosions that were kind of inexplainable, and because of
Sure.
that, people were scared that there were some dark magic.
Right. Yeah, people weren't the smartest back then. Well, let's say the
They weren't educated. Not their fault.
Okay. They didn't go to school. Yeah, so basically flour explodes.
What it just does.
It sometimes.
Well, I have some flour over there in that room. What am I gonna do about it?
It can explode when mixed with air. If you have like a big puff of flour, it explodes really easily because there's a lot more surface area, and the smaller the dust particles are, basically, the more spread out they get, and the more surface area you have for them to kind of soak with heat.
I imagine there was a lot of flour in a mill.
Yeah, exactly. And then basically what happens is they all just oxidize really quickly, and boom. And it's never nice. Actually, flour explosions can be really dangerous. But I think flour is one of those things that you really have to mix with a lot of air to get like a proper explosion.
Okay.
But so yeah, a lot of things that usually like as a block don't burn. Like steel wool, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Steel doesn't burn, but steel wool burns very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just increase the surface. If you want to make a flour bomb, just increase the surface
Or
area.
if you just want to burn anything.
So yeah, I think back then, any kind of spark could ignite that, and it's a mill, so there's probably some stone turning or something, and they'll have a spark, and then the whole thing will just go up in flames. So there's even more reason to distrust the miller.
And be careful with your flour, guys.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And any other dangerous items you might have.
yeah,
in
your
home.
C4, your TNT, please.
It's all the same. Are you putting cracks on the walls?
Yes, I actually am. I was actually thinking for forever about what to put right over this table on the outside. I cut all that out for your pleasure.
Thanks.
So I just put some cracks there because I just thought it made sense.
Wait, are they
It
like
looked
are they in the base game, or is it one of the packs?
I think it comes with vampires.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Druggy
So
vampires.
this build actually, it does use quite a few packs, but it is sort of a limited pack build in such a sense that it doesn't use all packs.
How many packs have you used? Do you
Oh
know?
my god, I do not know.
So it's still a lot.
It's still a lot, but it's not all of them.
But you can always download the build, and then you will have the build
Whatever is
without
left.
Yeah, and then you
Yes.
can refurnish it
Oh,
yourself.
I forgot that we're also like explaining The Sims to you.
Yeah.
I thought that I forgot that's the thing we're doing.
Yeah, it is, because I barely understand what's going on.
Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, you can absolutely do that and just refill it basically with the things you own.
So basically, you can just kind of take the shell and
You could.
make your own.
You could.
That's cool.
Thanks.
I don't have this. I do have The Sims.
You-
I keep
yeah.
forgetting. I don't know why. I've never. I seriously. I bought it once. I don't think I've ever even started it. It's just a lot of effort.
You just like to collect games, don't you?
Well, the thing is, okay, I understand the building part. And from what I've played, I think I would enjoy playing more than building, which is
you
obviously
did
like your
enjoy playing.
Yeah, more than building, which is obviously your counterpart. But I think like playing in a cool house like this would be a lot more fun. Having like a windmill or because these things don't exist in like EA. They don't build these things, right? They build like crap houses from what I've heard.
They're trying. I think they actually really got better. In Eco Lifestyle, they built that really cool crane house. Remember, did I show you that at some point? I think I did because it's really cool. It's, I think the most interesting thing EA on Maxis has done so far in building.
So why don't they just outside hire people to build their building?
They did in Snowy Escape. They actually asked some, I think the 4 most well-known sim YouTubers to build their lots.
So us.
Not
Did
yet,
we
but
decline?
we're on our way. So yeah, that was It's incredible that they didn't do that sooner. People have been asking for that for ages.
I also don't understand because it's less work for them, and from what I've heard at least, a lot of the buildings they had in the past were just so generic. Also,
yeah. I mean, they do have a lot of
blatant
constrictions.
mistakes.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, like no toilets
how
or
does that happen?
doors that lead to
you
nowhere.
can't play in that. And like I'm assuming that there's a lot of people out there who are just playing Sims for the game and not necessarily building. So it's cool that that community just kind of has both sides to it.
Yeah, and I mean that we have the gallery and that kind of stuff. That's really exciting. Or these tray files.
Right.
Mine, to be specific.
So tray files are basically a way to import.
You tell me.
No, I'm asking. Well,
I feel like you probably know more about that kind of stuff than I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, you basically just take it from your game and then somebody else can put in their gallery, not via downloading it through the gallery, but by importing the actual files.
Hold up. If I build something with custom content in it and then put it up on the gallery, that custom content is gone, right?
Yes, it is.
So it makes sense to have tray files because they can preserve the custom content.
Oh no, it's just gone if you don't have it. If you put it in the gallery and the other person has that same custom content, then it's still gonna be there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Good on EA.
Yeah.
That I don't. Okay, listen, I'm gonna take that back. I do not like EA.
I'm pretty sure no one does.
Yeah. Let's get on that hate train.
Yeah, so I think we're actually almost at the house tour, which is just an inside tour. So if you thought this was fun to watch and you haven't watched the outside yet, I again do recommend you go do that. And I'm really happy about any type of feedback or subscriptions. I mean, do not subscribe me to any weird services, please, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, hopefully see you in the next build. And you want to say something?
Do you have any idea what you're gonna build next?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't yet. I'm thinking about something. I have actually built so much in Windenburg that I'm thinking I want to build somewhere else on this channel.
Yeah.
So I might do that next.
Do it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, goodbye from me as well. And
let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific or if you like this concept. And love you. Bye.
Bye.